My name's Ridley and this is a film for Härkila regarding training dogs for rabbit shooting. For me, training and being able to eventually shoot over my dogs are the most special thing. That process of taking a young puppy through to the first time it gets out into the shooting field, it's just magical, just magical. There's blood, sweat and tears goes into training a dog. It can take anything up to 2 years depending on the dog, and it just gives me great pleasure. And to be able to go up onto the fells and the moors in pursuit of rabbits, for me is the ultimate in working spaniels. The dogs have got to be very, very precise in their work. These rabbits will tuck up tight in the grass. They're not going to move until the very last moment. And when they do flush, you need a dog that's going to be steady. You don't want it chasing, because if it chases, you're not going to be able to get the shot. So it needs to be steady when that rabbit flushes. You've got to then take your part in it in trying to get the shot, and then obviously then the dog's going to retrieve it. And it's what I call the complete package. We have to start off with a steadying process. I've already mentioned they've got to be steady when that rabbit flushes. So we start off by using dummies and rolling tennis balls and fur balls around the dogs to make sure they're 100% steady to movement. And then we move on to what we call the rabbit pen, or the steadying pen, and that's where the work really starts. The dogs have got to hunt a nice tight pattern. You don't want them working too far away from you, because if they flush something before you mounted your gun, it's going to be out of range. So they've got to work about 25 metres either side of you. And more importantly, when they find that rabbit and it flushes, they've got to stop. So we use a steadying pen for that. They're big areas that are fenced in with semi-tame rabbits in there. Lots of rushy grass, lots of cover. There might be stick piles or old tree stumps, somewhere for the rabbits to tuck under, so the dogs get used to getting their noses down and getting into those small areas where the rabbits are going to hide. When they flush, they've got to stop. And in the steadying pen, we're not actually shooting these rabbits. It's just about stopping the dogs on the flush. And when we've achieved that, and that can take weeks, sometimes it can take months to get a dog really steady, but when we've achieved that, we can then move on to travelling up north and getting on the real thing in that wonderful countryside.